And welcome back to Holden's Golden Age of Wargaming. And we're now on part 3 of our playthrough of Soldiers, Tactical Combat 1914 to 15. It is the German side of turn 1, and this should be a pretty short turn. I don't think there's any combats. However, I will explain a couple more of the rules and my understanding of them as I move through here. What's my overall plan? Well, we know I have to get off 5 units off the edge of the map over there. I need to prevent the French from getting 5 units off of here. I'm going to basically move a howitzer and a field gun up onto this hill. I'm going to move another howitzer here to lay down a covering fire of French units as we come. And the cavalry and the infantry are going to mostly move. Well, the cavalry is all going to move up this way. We're going to confront that cavalry. And the infantry, most of them are going to move up that way as well. A few are going to move over this way, trying to keep this woods here as cover against these field guns sitting up here, among other things, trying to get over here. But we're going to have to kill a lot of French units before we're going to achieve our goal. First thing we're going to do is move our cavalry. Now, I said earlier the only thing I would attack with cavalry is other cavalry. Why is that? Well, cavalry is it has a move of 8, so they're quite quick. They only have a range of 1, but however, to get around that, they can actually move all 8 of their movement and still attack. And as I said last video, most units need to either have all their movement or at least 2 movement points to be able to fire. Cavalry do not. They can go their full movement and attack. It's called a charge. However, if they do that against infantry or machine guns or anything but other mounted cavalry, they run up, and then you do your attack phase after your movement. However, the cavalry don't get to attack. No. The enemy then has their fire phase, and they get to fire at the cavalry first. And only if they don't disrupt or eliminate the cavalry does your cavalry then actually get to fire. It gets worse. As I said before in the last video, infantry and machine guns, we both know they get to double their firepower when they're attacking something that would be an adjacent hex. But not only that, it gets worse. They get to double again against mounted, if they're attacking mounted cavalry. So a machine gun or an enemy infantry would get to quadruple their attack strength to against your mounted cavalry. And then only if they miss would your mounted cavalry get to attack. Now, I haven't actually ran the numbers, but I'm pretty sure that almost no chance of a cavalry actually being able to fire on an enemy unit. So the only thing they can attack is these mounted cavalry. They don't have that penalty if they're attacking another cavalry. What's the only way to get around that? You can dismount them, and I actually have 4 dismounted cavalry counters here ready to go if and when I dismount my cavalry. However, it takes a full turn of movement, all your movement points, to be able to, you can't move anywhere, to dismount, and then it takes all your movement, a full turn of movement, doing nothing else, to remount. So it's not something you can do just on the fly. So it should be interesting to see how we use it. But right now, this cavalry, that's what's going to, the French is the first thing that's going to get to this town. So we're not scared. Our cavalry is not scared of theirs. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will not be stacking. Now this is a machine gun company, and the Germans have the best machine guns in the game. Basically, what I want to do here is let me just get my markers here and show that's moved. Okay, so this machine gun's going to go 1, 2, 3, and now its range is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to that road. So I'm going to do what is called an interdicting fire. And what an interdicting fire is at the very beginning of your fire phase, before anything else happens, you announce which one of your units are doing interdicting fire. And if you do interdicting fire, you can only do it on empty hexes, clear hexes. You just mark it like that. And if on the enemy's movement phase they move into that hex, your whatever unit you have designated will get to fire. And if your unit disrupts them or eliminates them, they don't get to fire back. Now, I don't think I mentioned this, but when you disrupt or eliminate an enemy unit, the fire is considered simultaneous. So if you disrupt or eliminate an enemy unit, they still get a chance to fire back. But with interdicting fire, if you disrupt or eliminate an enemy unit, when they have to enter that hex, the enemy player has to actively put one of his or her units into that hex. They don't get to fire back. That's it. And not only that, any other unit that comes into that hex gets disrupted or eliminated. The same result as the first unit that entered the hex. However, if you miss and do no effect, then that unit gets to continue its movement, and any other enemy unit can move through that hex with no worries. It's not going to have to worry. The first result is all the results for that hex in the enemy movement phase. A lot of units can only interdict one hex. Field guns and machine guns can actually interdict 2 hexes, but they just have to be in a continuous line. But the German machine gun is very special. It can actually interdict three spots or 3 hexes in a row. So that's why we want that there. Of course, it wouldn't be able to do here because that would be out of its 10 range. That would be at a range of 11. So it'd have to be like this, for example. And then the French player has to choose whether he wants to go through those hexes and take shots on the machine gun or go around. So anyways, that will do when we get to our combat phase. So next up is cavalry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one's going to go the same, but it's going to go there. This cavalry is going to go here. Okay, now we have the first field gun. This field gun here, I want it here. I want it in that woods. And of course, remember when you attack, only the hex defense value matters. So I really would rather not have any of my units in a clear hex, but I definitely don't want my field gun in a clear hex when being shot at. So I'm going to put it in this woods hex, and it's going to get to shoot at the French as they come in. Can't quite get there this turn, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's as far as I can go. Oops, we don't want that. We want this. Let's copy that, paste. Okay, this field gun, I'm going to put it up on the hill. So 1, 2, 3, because it costs 2 movement points to go on a slope hex. 4. Now, neither of these field guns are going to be able to fire because they moved. And they are not like the French artillery. They don't get to, if they keep 4 movement points. Of course, they only have 4 movement points. If they move at all, 1 hex, they can't fire. So they're not as good as the French artillery in that respect. All right, this now we're on to the infantry, which has a movement of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This infantry, I'm going to move a couple infantry up. I'm going to try to use this woods as cover. Also, in case any French are coming down this way. But I'm going to try to keep most of my force basically going in this direction. I'm not going to send a force down this way, especially not once I saw the French moving forces down that way. I'm going to try to keep my forces together, but spread out, obviously, because of the way this game works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this infantry, now I'm going to send the rest. I think 2 infantry is probably going to be enough. The rest are going to head up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's as far as you're going to go. This howitzer is going to move up onto the hill. So 1, 2, 3. Can't fire because it moved. And this comes in, I might as well right here explain there's 2 types of fire. There's direct fire and observed fire. And there's also, we'll go over that first. So direct fire is you can directly see a unit. Okay, you can directly see it. It's within your range. For a howitzer, it has to be within 25 hexes. You have to be able to see it. That means you have to be able to draw a line of sight to it, including into the hex the unit's in, into the middle. And if you can, like this one here I'm showing, you can do a direct fire for full attack value. However, say that unit there was in this woods hex, you wouldn't be able to see it. If the unit's in a woods hex, you just can't see it directly. The only thing you could do is called observe fire. Now, if there's a unit in a woods or a town's hex, you can have a direct line of sight on it, but only if you have one of your own units adjacent. So this unit here could have a direct line, do direct fire on an enemy unit in that woods hex. Okay, because it is adjacent. That's the only way you're going to be able to see into that woods hex. However, because it can see into that woods hex and fire, and this howitzer can see it directly, direct line of sight, this unit can tell this unit where to fire. So it's called observe fire. This howitzer could do observe fire into that woods hex. What's the penalty to that? Penalty is you only get to do it for half your attack value. Oh, that would be 4.5 for this howitzer. I'm not sure. Probably have to round that down to 4. I did not look that up in the rules. I do not know if you have to round up or round down. Probably round down. We're not firing yet, so I don't. It's not a concern as of yet. What's the other thing? Okay, so say there was an enemy unit here. Would this howitzer be able to fire at it? No, it wouldn't. And the rule is that if there's a blocking line of sight, a hex blocking line of sight between you and your target, and you're on a crest, on a hilltop like we are, so we are above that woods. However, the target has to be further away from the blocking hex, the hex that blocks the line of sight, than you are. If it's further away, you'll be able to see it. But if it's at equal or less distance to that blocking line of sight hex, you can't fire at it. So what does that mean? That means that, so we go here and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 hexes to get from here to there. So that means that we'd have to go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'd have to be there. The enemy unit would have to be there for us to be able to see it. If it was here or closer, we wouldn't be able to see it through the woods. And I'm not sure if I'm getting that right. Let me know if I'm not. But I'm pretty sure that's how I to read that. For example, well, I'll have to let me know if I'm getting that wrong. So basically, the target has to be further away from the blocking hex than you are. If it's further away, you can fire at it. If it's equal or closer, you can't. You just can't. You can't see into that hex after the woods. It's too close to the woods, for example, and you can't see it. But the further back it gets, then you can fire at it. Hopefully, I've explained that properly. All right, so next we have the rest of the infantry. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be enough heading off that way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. And oops, forgot about these guys. So that is everybody moved. Now that I have finished my movement phase, I'll remove my markers because everybody's moved. And now I'm on the fire phase, so now I'll just mark units as they fire. However, I'm not going to bother because there's really only one thing that I need to do. And actually, I think I screwed that up. Yeah, I have a enemy unit in the way there, so I'm pretty sure that I've just blocked the line of sight. So can I do it? I know certain field guns don't care. I'm pretty sure for line of sight, Units unlimited. Units fired. Units. Oh, I've seen it before. Determine the range count. Any part? Yeah, I know that. I know that. Units are not fires on the next page, perhaps. It might be infantry. Infantry and non-British machine gun units may not fire through hexes containing other units, enemy or friends. So I just screwed up. Can I still do an interdiction fire a little bit further down the road? Let's find out. Oh, hold it. Okay, so that I don't believe that. No, that doesn't go through the hex. So I could do it there. And yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can do an interdicting fire. So this machine gun is going to fire, interdicting fire. And we're going to get this here. We're going to put it here. Because it can't go where I wanted it to because of because of my cavalry. Alright, so it's going to do an interdicting fire there, and then I can do it 3 in a row. Now I'm not sure, can I go 3 down? I guess I can fire on all 3 of those. So we'll go like that. We'll do an interdicting fire like that. So the French now is going to have to worry about going through there. They're going to have to go off the road. They don't want to be shot at by the machine guns. So even though it didn't work out quite the way I wanted to because of me screwing up, I still managed to block the road, and hopefully I can kill cavalry if they decide to go through there. I think that is it. We then go on to the enemy, or the French's get to fire, but I don't think. Oh, there is one. Yeah, there sure is. This gun can fire. Yeah, it can fire. So it's going to fire here. It's going to fire at this cavalry. Right, actually, it's going to fire at this one here. 18 hexes. So that's a field gun firing. I'll mark it. Well, don't need an interdiction. It would actually be this guy right here. Copy and paste. But once again, I don't think anybody else can fire. These ones are too far away. So they'll fire at this guy right here. There's nothing blocking the line of sight. Let's just make sure that you go from the middle of the hex. And well, actually, it wouldn't matter with a field gun. It can fire through friendly or enemy units because, of course, it's lobbing its shots, not shooting straight across. And the range is within 25 hexes, so he will fire. So let's fire the field gun. And we know that we have, what do we have here? 6 attack. It is direct fire. I can see into the hex. And that we know that the clear hex has a defense value of 2. Confirming that, yes, 2. So 6 divided by 3 is 3 to 1. So there, look at that. Now that field gun across the map is going to at least disrupt that cavalry unit. So it's quite vicious. Well, let's see if we eliminate or destroy. Or sorry, eliminate or disrupt that cavalry. Here we go. We get a 3. 3 on a 3 to 1 is just barely. So this infantry or this cavalry is disrupted. And which one's disrupted? That's eliminated. Oh, here. So that is disrupted. Friendly phase. I'm assuming that is. I'm assuming that is friendly phase because it happened during our phase. Even though it's the enemy's, the French's fire phase right now. So I hope that's what it means. So I'm going to put that on there so we know that our next movement and our next fire, this cavalry can't do anything because it's been disrupted. And I think that is it. I think that's all that can happen. So this machine gun is doing interdicting fire on this area here, trying to slow this cavalry down from getting into the town. And this field, the French field gun in the woods here, took a shot and disrupted our forwardmost cavalry. And that is where we stand at the end of turn 1 of Soldiers Tactical Combat 1914-15. I will see you guys next time. If you enjoyed this video at all, please like, please subscribe, and have a great night. And I will see you next time as the French.